What up, guys? How's it going? Welcome into Rover Sports tonight. And what a boring game of freaking football. A horrific game tonight in the NFL. Terrible stuff. People who thought that the Super Bowl was boring, this game was just as pitiful to watch between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers win the game 10-3. The under hits. My main takeaways from the game is that Matt Nagy has had two horrible games. Now, this does not mean that Matt Nagy's a failure. In fact, his success is most likely Matt Nagy's success is most likely going to burn him in this scenario, meaning that he's already won the NFC North, so now he has so much expectation on him to actually perform and do really well. He might have even achieved a lot of success very soon in his career, and now he has a high point of expectation to match up to. His offense was very good last year, very dynamic. Tariq Cohen was very good. Jordan Howard was sorely missing in the spot. I mean, Chicago Bears, their running game was awful in this spot. It was terrible. The play calling was disgraceful tonight from Matt Nagy again. It's two consecutive games, the playoffs and tonight, a very important game. And if I heard correctly, Chicago goes to Denver, which is not going to get easier next week against a guy in Vic Fangio who knows this entire offense. If you think Adrian Amos knows this offense, Vic Fangio knows the entire offense. The point that I'm going to say about this game is that Mitchell Trubisky was flat out horrible tonight. Mitchell Trubisky was not decisive. He got hung up in the pocket, but really Matt Nagy hung him out to dry. You have David Montgomery, who's really feeling good, who's making very good cuts. I think Montgomery tonight had 4 touches in the game. James Daniels, a relatively new center. You have Cody Whitehair and Kyle Long. That is an elite aspect of this defense. Mike Pettin, most of the night, is playing a 3-4 defense. I know that you have Kenny Clark in the middle of that defense who's pretty good, who had one nice swing move in the game. But why don't you go hurry up and why don't you pound Montgomery to set up 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 5 instead of throwing with Mitchell Trubisky on second down just about every time? Instead of mixing in, Tariq Cohen and that guy Mike Davis. The fact is you have so many running backs that none of them are getting in a rhythm at all. Last year you had Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. Now you're trying to integrate this guy Davis, and you have this rookie. Throw Davis out of the game plan. Let Montgomery be the guy. And if you want Montgomery and Cohen on the field at the same time, then that's fine. But hand the ball off to David freaking Montgomery. Hand off the ball. Speed the game up. Use some tempo. Be creative. Last year, you had tempo. Get Green Bay on their heels. Take a deep shot down the field. When you took a deep shot, Taylor Gabriel caught a ball. And if it wasn't for a push-off, it would have been a 40-yard play. There were no explosive plays because you didn't take any shots down the field. Now let's talk about Mitchell Trubisky. Mitch is hesitant, very hesitant in the pocket, had a lot of trouble finding his check down. Mitchell Trubisky is talented enough. He can get out of pressure. He can throw to his right. He's mobile enough. But the point about Mitchell Trubisky is that he's not an all-world talent. He's not like a Mahomes. He's not like Aaron Rodgers. He's not great. He's not an elite level quarterback, but can Mitchell Trubisky be good enough to win? Yes. Can Mitchell Trubisky be clutch? Yes. Did Mitchell have a good year last year? Yes. Am I worried about Matt Nagy long term? No. Matt Nagy just won the Coach of the Year. You went from John Fox to Matt Nagy. Ryan Pace is brilliant. Ryan Pace and Nagy have been brilliant. Roquan Smith, Kyle Fuller, Khalil Mack. Leonard Floyd played awesome tonight. This guy Robertson, who has 3 names, was everywhere making plays tonight. It might have been Ronald Roy, Roy Rogers, Ronald Roy, Robertson Roy, whoever the hell his name is. Bears defense played well. Pagano did decently well. He wasn't as aggressive as Vic Fangio in terms of turnovers because they couldn't get Green Bay to throw near an interception, and that's a credit to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers tonight was pressured. The Bears defense played well, was able to get some sacks. Now, Eddie Jackson was not where he needed to be. Prince Amukamara got burned a lot in this game, whether it was by Valdez-Scantling or by the other guy. That guy Bush, who's playing safety, let Jimmy Graham have that big touchdown over his head, okay? Bears defense, though, every time the Packers crossed midfield, Bears defense played well. Bears defense could play even better. The Green Bay Packers screwed up a lot for Chicago to only give up 10 points. Green Bay, when they got across midfield, they were allergic to scoring points. When they crossed midfield in that game, they were flat out awful, Green Bay. Offensively, it's going to take time for Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. I like some things LaFleur did. LaFleur was able to find Adams. He was able to give Aaron some freedom. Now, Aaron Jones needed more rushing, kind of like David Montgomery. Aaron Jones was having success gashing the Chicago Bears. Green Bay didn't use tempo. Green Bay's offense wasn't all that great either in this game. Okay, Green Bay's offense. Third down wasn't great for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers took some horrible sacks, which didn't allow Mason Crosby to get much-needed points. When you cross midfield, Aaron has to be a lot better at getting points. Bottom line is Aaron will get better. Green Bay, though, Green Bay was awesome tonight. A lot of it is going to be about Mitchell Trubisky sucking and not being great. It's going to be about Matt Nagy, a lot of the headlines tomorrow. But Green Bay, you got to give Brian Gutekunst credit. You got Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander almost caused a turnover. Kevin King had maybe one of his best games that I've seen him play. Kevin King. Now, I don't watch every Packers game religiously, but I watched this game, and Kevin King was really, really good tonight. Blake Martinez is everywhere. Blake Martinez is a very good linebacker. You had Preston Smith come in and have a really nice play at the end of the game. And who am I missing from Green Bay who had, I think Kevin King was probably the best player in the damn game today. I mean, Kevin King, what he was able to do tonight, he was able to go out there, he deflected a lot of passes, he made a lot of great open field tackles, and also Tramon Williams actually played really, really well. Mike Pettin deserves a lot of credit. The Green Bay defense was good last year. Mike Pettin didn't know how to handle Jamie Haslam. He was an awful, awful head coach for the Cleveland Browns. He's a very good defensive coordinator. He doesn't have the temperament to be a head coach. He said he's not a CEO. He's just a straight defensive guru, and tonight he was flat out phenomenal. Mike Pettin was amazing tonight. And for Green Bay, if they get that kind of defense and they run Aaron Jones a little bit more, they're going to be probably the favorites to win this damn division. I mean, if they go down to Minnesota and play that type of defense with Mike Pettin, then Green Bay's going to have a wonderful chance to win this division. And if Trubisky and Nagy, if they're unable to get hot, when you look at this defense, you lose Adrian Amos, but Vic Fangio put Eddie Jackson in a lot of positions for Eddie to really be capitalized. And Pagano is going to be pretty good, but there's no way that you're going to replace Vic Fangio and that type of defense. So Chicago's in a little bit of trouble for this year. It doesn't mean that Nagy and Trubisky are going to be gone next year. Maybe if Trubisky continues to suck, you won't offer him a contract extension, and next year he'll have to have a prove-it year. But Matt Nagy is not going anywhere. Ryan Pace is not going anywhere. Chicago flat out sucked at home. Chicago had that chance. They didn't run the ball. They didn't take any deep shots, and the game completely sucked. Delay of games everywhere, and I'm tired of this whole, you should have played in preseason. That's bullcrap. You could have gotten guys hurt in the preseason. You had time to get ready to play tonight, and you flat out sucked. And you know what? Green Bay has a pretty damn good defense. Kevin King tonight was really, really good. A lot better than I anticipated. Jair Alexander is actually developing in this league. He's playing well for a first-round pick. He's actually holding up his end of the bargain. You got to give Brian Gutekunst credit. Aaron Rodgers has not had a defense this good in a while, and that is great news. I'm going to say this about Matt LaFleur. I liked two coaching moves he made that were winning moves. End of the first half, he didn't go for it. He realized he was up 7-3. He punted the ball. Also, 2nd and 5, down beneath 2 minutes or under 2 minutes. 2 minutes were left in the game. What Matt LaFleur did is he caught a quick pass, and he nearly won the mother freaking game with that play. Brilliant play call. The ball was behind the receiver, but on 2nd and 5, he went for the win. Now on 3rd down, he runned it. Made him use a timeout. J.K. Scott, phenomenal. One of my MVPs. My MVPs for the game, Kevin King, J.K. Scott, phenomenal night, punting the ball. Mike Patton definitely gets a game ball. And then you can maybe give it to a linebacker like a Blake Martinez. Adrian Amos had the interception, and that's the flashy play. But that was one freaking play. Kevin King and Tramon Williams tonight were flat out ridiculously good. Good. And I got to give a lot of credit to Green Bay's defense. Trubisky is a good quarterback. He's definitely capable of taking you in the playoffs and going far. This defense is special. Ryan Pace is special. He's a great general manager. The Bears are still a good football team. They need to concise their offense down. They need to start running the freaking ball and letting Mitch play complimentary ball. Stop making Mitch Trubisky out to be like a freaking quarterback that can throw it, 40 times a game. You're not Andy Reid, Matt Nagy. Maybe you're acting like Andy Reid lately with putting Mitchell Trubisky in horrible situations to fail. You have David freaking Montgomery. Run the ball in the middle. You have James Daniels, Cody Whitehair, and Kyle Long. Whitehair and Daniels are they're both second round, really awesome picks from the Midwest, from Iowa and Kansas State. You run them. Cody Whitehair's made Pro Bowls before. He's very good at guard. It's a 3-4 defense. Condense them. Run the ball to set up play action, and then let Allen Robinson use his frame. Then throw it to Gabriel. It starts with the running game. Jesus, what a terrible game that was. Jeez. More like geez. Horrible. Let's look at the final statistics tonight if you made it through this video so far. Here we go. Statistics. Team stats. 3rd down conversions. Where is 3rd downs? Why don't you give me 3rd down? 3 for 15 on 3rd freaking down. 0 for 2. Yards per play, 3.9. Running the ball, 15 attempts to 45. 15 attempts, 45 running yards. Now, I know that obviously gets, towards the end of the game, those numbers can be inflated. But you average 3.1 yards a carry. That's one more than your opponent. 3.1 yards a carry. 10 penalties, 107 yards. It was an ugly game. 20 penalties for each team, and they won the time of possession. The turnovers in this game, 1 for Chicago, the interception. Really boring game. Both teams, a combined 5 for 27 on third down conversions. This game sucked. The NFL sucks sometimes. It does. It's not like sometimes college, there's so many games in college football, you can always find games where there's scoring, you can always find games where there's defense. The NFL, you put all the games on Sunday so that your product does not have a chance to suck, because when you got 5 freaking games on, you're at a sports bar, you're going to have fun. You're going to watch a game. It's just playing the numbers. So that's that. Trubisky is terrible. Matt Nagy did a terrible job tonight. I guess like last year I was mad at Matt Nagy because I thought he had his worst game of the year when he played the Eagles, but Nagy has some things to work on. He needs to run the ball a little bit more. Very correctable. He's a very good play caller. He has great window dressing stuff, okay? And a lot of people are going to be on Matt Nagy, but you're still pretty damn lucky to have Matt Nagy. He's one of the best personalities in football, meaning that he's a great CEO. He gets everybody together. He's everything Mike Pettin couldn't do. He works great with Ryan Pace, and he drafts really good football players. Now, Anthony Miller wasn't even targeted tonight, but here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing I'm going to say about the entire output of the game is that Matt Nagy is a very good play caller. I've seen him call awesome games. I've seen him with Trubisky light it up, and I've seen him take over games with his play calling. The Bucs game last year, Detroit, he'll have great games. He's a very good coach. He'll perform better. Just was awful tonight. And hopefully it's not a down year altogether, but that's kind of the reality of what tonight was about. It was an ugly, ugly first game. Terrible, terrible performance.